Hello people, I'm Jaby Koay. Joining us is ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
We're going to do our spoiler review of Secret Superstar. As per tradition, I'm gonna read the IMDb one-liner. Insia is a 14-year-old from Vadodara who dreams of being a singer one day. If you haven't watched it already, we did our non-spoiler review and we spoke at length about things we really liked in the film while keeping it, mysterious. We don't want to give anything away, but now we can let loose.
Yes.
This is assuming you've watched the film, so if you haven't watched it yet, please go watch it and then come back and watch this video, or just watch our non-spoiler review.
You know what? I want to start. I'm gonna dive right in with the nitty-gritty. That scene, the wife was getting beaten by the husband.
Yeah.
The way it was done was just so visceral. You didn't actually see her get beat up, but you just kind of experience it from the kid's point of view, which is then being shut away in a different room and just hearing it, and then the little boy kind of seeing it and then just coming back completely scarred. And just talking about that, I've got goosebumps. I was just sitting in my chair, just clutching myself, sobbing for this woman who was going through this because she wanted to protect her children.
The moment the emotional waterworks started to trickle in was when she resigned herself and she was like, go take your brother to the room. I'm like, no, don't do it. And then you could hear her getting slapped up. I'm like, oh Jesus, this is hard. This is difficult.
Yeah.
And it just made me, in a good way, made me frustrated with her for not taking charge and fleeing the situation. But the film had its story to tell.
Yeah.
And she had her moment of victory at the most poignant moment in the film, in the Mumbai International Airport, which is you can kind of see what's coming in the film.
Yeah.
But I was still taken by it.
Yeah.
Even though I knew all the beats that the film was going to go through, it still moved me for some reason. It still had me.
I think I mentioned that in the non-spoiler review as well, where I felt like I knew what the story was gonna be, but then it was also unexpected, and it was in ways predictable and yet unpredictable at the same time. I loved that the mother got this wonderful story arc. Even though in the beginning I knew she was a weak character, for whatever reason, I think just the way that Meher Vij portrayed her, I loved her from the start.
Right.
Even though I was like, damn, you're weak. And the moment that Insia called her mother stupid, my heart broke for her. Your own child called you stupid.
Yeah.
How must that make you feel?
They established that right at the beginning of the movie, that things are off kilter because you can see the mom's bruise, the daughter's calling her stupid. They established right away that this is not right, something is off. And the whole movie kind of kicks off from there because it's a journey about their escape from this hellhole that they're living in with the father. I want to talk about the writing for a second. One of the things that a good writer knows how to do, or a great writer, is have your character do things that you wouldn't necessarily agree with, make mistakes, calling her mom stupid. I wouldn't agree with that. Resigning and giving in, and deciding to just give up on her dreams, that I disagreed with, but it's important. And when she was being mean to the boy who really, really liked her, that was all no, don't do that. He really likes you. As an audience, you can see it, but the character is making mistakes, and that's important because it's what makes her human. There's a message even within that. The way she's responding to the kid is from the input from her household.
Exactly.
And that's why she acts like kind of an asshole to this boy who's the sweetest kid in the world to her. What's interesting is just his just absolutely resilient in his affection for her. In that little moment when she's leaving school and she thinks it's gonna be the last time she ever sees him, it's not even a close-up, but you hear her crying and it's their profiles, and I'm like, God damn it! Ah! And I'm just everything was making me cry in this movie. It was ridiculous.
For 5 minutes in, I was already in tears.
There was an older white guy watching the film, and when the credits rolled and I saw him, he had tears in his eyes. His eyes were bloodshot red from crying. I'm like, damn, this. So what's so great about this is it's not limited to culture in any way. It's not limited to India in any way. It's just a very human story that you can just identify with and relate to. One of the things you mentioned when we were talking about the film is how you see it as kind of a feminist film. And I was like, I don't even see it that way. I just see it as a human story. you've got these people who are trapped in this situation, and you know they need to get out of it because it's horrible. It's a hellhole. This father was abusive.
There's certainly a commentary there as well on like how in a lot of the time girls and women in fact can be seen as second-class citizens, and they're treated as such. So I think in that way, because it's addressing that issue and kind of showing it through that lens, it is a bit of a feminist perspective. But as you say, it's totally humanist, you know? It's something that we all can relate to.
I want to just reemphasize how much I love all the actors in this film. I think everybody, even the little things like the lawyer who got Amir Khan divorced, his wife's lawyer, even her, she, like, just all the little actors, the ancillary actors in the film, everybody was great. I loved the kid who played the girl's love interest. That little moment when he goes, "What's your password for your email?" And she writes it in his hand, and I knew exactly what it was. Even though I knew exactly what it was, it still moved me, and I still identified with the kid's reaction when he's like all happy, and then it's his bus stop, he's like, no, go to the next one. I'm good. And he's just so he's adorable. He adores her, and she adores him, even though she's kind of an asshole to him throughout the movie. Like, he gets it. He just gets it, and that's what's so great. But the part that just was absolutely phenomenally ridiculous, that I just threw my hands up and almost walked out of the theater crying, was when she got to the rooftop and saw the laptop pieced back together. I was just like, are you kidding me?
But I think, you know, when you said in the spoiler-free review that Guru didn't really have a journey, I think he did, because, I mean, he was always a sweet kid, but I think he learned to be less selfish. Yeah, he was more selfless. And,
that's true.
And
that's true.
He started off as just being this little boy who was treated like a prince because he was a boy, you know, by his father. But then he realized that things weren't right, and he was really sweet to his sister in the end.
The movie caught me off guard in that regard because I thought that he was gonna tattletale. He could see the conversation happening between his mom and his sister. And I thought immediately, for some reason I thought the first thing he's gonna do is go talk to his dad, because they're talking about leaving him behind. And I thought, oh, he's gonna just blow this plan out, or he's gonna mess it up. And instead of that, he goes to the opposite extreme, which is he is as sweet as possible for his sister. I'm just like, I didn't see that coming, and I am screwed up for the rest of the film now. I can't deal with this. That computer thing was ridiculous. And it's just a movie, goddammit. It's just lights flashing at me, and those like, pictures. It's not, the actual kid didn't make that up, it's just the story. And I'm trying to not let it get me, because that's when it was just too much. It was just this tornado of, this is so awesome. Like, I couldn't deal with it anymore. I had to step back a little bit and go, it's just a movie. Like, in my head, I'm like, the kid didn't actually do this. This is what the writer wrote. It's not real.
In the beginning, you go into the movie thinking that the hero of the story is the girl. But as you watch the movie, you realize, actually, the hero is the mother. And at the end, when you see, you know, this is dedicated to mothers and motherhood, you know, it becomes clear. But I think that's such a beautiful message, because the mother didn't have the opportunities in her life. She was very limited, but she tried her best to, first of all, have her daughter and save her life, and then to go to all the trouble of making sure she was educated, that she could play music and pursue her dreams, and just give her everything that she couldn't have, and just kind of bleed her life for her.
I wouldn't say that the moniker or title of hero needs to be reserved for one person in the movie. I think that by Insia saying the real hero is my mom, I think that was just a demonstration that, like, because her whole goal was to be the superstar. Her whole goal was to be famous and be appreciated worldwide. And at the end of it, she doesn't even accept the reward. She's like, no, screw that. Like, it was almost like a moment in Rocky. Oh shit, you didn't see Rocky. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. But she just neglects the award, and runs to her mom, because that's her real award, is having that kind of a mom. I would say they're both heroes in their own way. The hero's journey is Insia. She's the one that goes on her adventure and doesn't look back. She crosses that point where she cannot go back. Like, she has to follow through on this,
I would argue that Insia's mother also crossed a point where she couldn't go back, and she had her own hero.
All of that, but all of it is, we don't have to debate this, but I'm saying all of that was informed by Insia's actions.
Sure.
So, in my perspective, Insia saying that her mom's the hero is her being humble. right? But she really is the hero of the movie. She's the hero of the movie, and the mom is a hero in her own right, is what I would say.
She's the hero of Insia's life.
Sure, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad we could. So anyway, Amir Khan was fun to watch and he did a good job of making me uncomfortable.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He went to this extreme. I'm just like, ugh.
So cringy.
Like, it's the first time I was like, ugh, Amir Khan, really? Like, that's a testament to how strong his performance was.
Yeah, he was totally committed to playing a very greasy douchebag. But with a heart. In the beginning, you know, he also had his journey, because in the beginning, because of what the media says and how you see him through the lens of only looking at him through the TV, you're like, God, he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're like, oh, he actually has a heart.
Right.
He's still kind of douchey.
Well, it seemed like he was very selfish as a person as well. Mm-hmm. And then upon contact with Insia, he became more of a selfless person.
Yeah.
Like, it was all about her getting the award and her victory, and that was his victory through her.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that she had that, he felt like he won also. That was a first for him, and I thought that was great. Like, everybody, just about everybody in the film had an arc. Even the father, like, he was the person in power, and then he completely lost power to the point of total, absolute weakness.
Mm-hmm. He was brilliant as well. He was just terrifying.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even in a way that was really over the top or anything. Just him walking into the room, I was like, oh no. You know, I felt like hiding from him because he was that scary just by breathing.
Mahir Vij, who played Najma, there was something just wonderful about her presence.
Yeah.
She had a very warm spirit about her that just came through on screen. I don't know what it was, but both her and Zaira Wasim, they were very perfectly chosen for these roles. Zaira is extremely talented. I assume she was actually singing. I mean, I don't know if her voice was replaced, but I believed her. It
sounded very similar to her speaking voice. So.
I believed her, and I believed in her in this movie. This is a wonderful film. This is one of my favorite films of the year.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
By far.
Just, I could not believe how much I was moved. And honestly, going into it, I was like, all right, let's start this. It's 2.5 hours.
I know, you
I was just a little bit reluctant because I really wasn't in the mood to watch a movie. And then I watched it and I was taken by it. So that's the easiest way to put it. Please let us know in the comments below how you felt about this film. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media. If you'd like to help support the channel, please go to patreon.com/JabyKoay. There are different tiers with different rewards depending on how much you want to contribute. If you're interested in that, check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.